The 2001 New Year Honours list is one of the annual New Year Honours, a part of the British honours system, where New Year's Day, the 1st of January, is marked in several Commonwealth countries by appointing new members of orders of chivalry and recipients of other official honours. Awards for 2001, announced on the 30th of December 2000, included the United Kingdom, New Zealand, the Cook Islands, Barbados, Grenada, Papua New Guinea, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Belize and St. Christopher and Nevis. Recipients of honours are shown here as they were styled before the new honour. United Kingdom, Privy Councillor Tessa Ann Vosper, Baroness Blackstone, Minister of State, Department for Education and Employment. Keith John Charles Bradley, MP, Member of Parliament for Manchester, Withington. Treasurer of HM Household. Wivel Richard Nichols Rainsford, MP, Member of Parliament for Greenwich and Woolwich. Minister of State, Department of the Environment, Transport and the Regions. Elizabeth Conway, Baroness Simmons of Vernham Dean, Minister of State, Ministry of Defence. Knight Bachelor Nicholas Bevan, C.B., Speaker's Secretary, House of Commons. Professor Leszek Krzysztof Borysiewicz, Professor of Medicine, University of Wales, for services to medical research and education. Stanley William Clark, C.B.E., for services to the community in Staffordshire. Ronald Cohen, Chairman, Apex Partners & Co., for services to the venture capital industry. Thomas Daniel Courtney, actor, for services to drama. Edward Michael Crew, Q.P.M., Chief Constable, West Midlands Police, for services to the police. Robert Paul Culpen, Managing Director, Budget and Public Finances, H.M. Treasury. Professor Christopher Thomas Evans, O.B.E., for services to the bioscience industry. Andrew William Foster, Controller, Audit Commission, for services to local government and to the NHS. Alastair MacLeod Fraser, CBQ.C., for services to the criminal justice system. Professor Christopher John Frayling, Rector and Vice Provost, Royal College of Art, for services to art and design education. David McMurtry, C.B.E., Chief Executive, Rennie Shaw plc, for services to design and innovation. Duncan Michael, Chairman of Trustees, Over Arab Partnership, for services to engineering and construction. Patrick Alfred Caldwell Moore, C.B.E., for services to the popularization of science and to broadcasting. John Orr, O.B.E., Q.P.M., Chief Constable, Strathclyde Police, for services to the police. Thomas John Parker, Group Chairman, Babcock International, for services to the defence and shipbuilding industries. Charles Pollard, Q.P.M., Chief Constable, Thames Valley Police, for services to the police. Stephen Jeffrey Redgrave, C.B.E., for services to rowing. Peter Levin Schaffer, C.B.E., Playwright, for services to drama. Professor Christopher Hubert Llewellyn Smith, F.R.S. Provost and President, University College London, for services to particle physics. John Edward Sulston, F.R.S., lately Director, Sanger Centre, for services to genome research. Professor Christopher John White, C.V.O., for services to art history. David Martin Brown, for services to British industry. Dr. Anthony John Francis O'Reilly, for long and distinguished service to Northern Ireland. Order of the Bath. Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the Bath Air Chief Marshal Sir Peter Squire, K. CBD, FCA, FCA, DC, Royal Air Force. Sir Richard Wilson, K. C.B., Secretary of the Cabinet and Head of the Home Civil Service. Knight Commander of the Order of the Bath Lieutenant General Timothy John Granville Chapman, C.B.E., late Royal Regiment of Artillery. Air Marshal Malcolm David Pledger, O.B.E.A., F.C., Royal Air Force. Roger Tustin Jackling, CBC, BE, Second Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defence. Christopher William Gully, Permanent Secretary, Department of Health. Companion of the Order of the Bath Military Division, Rear Admiral John Chadwick. Rear Admiral Brian Benjamin Perrone. Major General Christopher George Callow, BE, late Royal Army Medical Corps. Major General Andrew Peter Ridgway, C.B.E., late Royal Tank Regiment. Major General Timothy John Sullivan, C.B.E., late the Blues and Rolls. Air Vice Marshal Stephen Mark Nichol, C.B.E., A.F.C., Royal Air Force. Air Vice Marshal David Miller Niven, C.B.E., Royal Air Force. Civil Division Donald Brereton, Director, Department of Social Security. Paul Britton, Deputy Head, Economic and Domestic Secretariat, Cabinet Office. Jonathan Stephen Cunliffe, Director, Monetary Policy and International Finance Directorate, HM Treasury. Philip John Davies, Parliamentary Council, Office of the Parliamentary Council. Richard Hillier, Director of Resources and Planning, Health and Safety Executive, Department of the Environment, Transport and the Regions. William Alexander Jeffrey, Political Director, Northern Ireland Office. John Michael Legge, C.M.G., Principal Establishment Officer, Ministry of Defence. David Robert Ritchie, Regional Director, Government Office for the West Midlands. Rosalind, Mrs. Wright, Director, Serious Fraud Office. Order of St. Michael and St. George. Knight Grand Cross of the Order of St. Michael and St. George Sir Peter John Golden, K. CMG, Permanent Representative, UKDEL NATO, Brussels. Knight Commander of the Order of St. Michael and St. George Dr. Arthur Richard Jolly, for long and distinguished service to international development. Derek John Plumbley, C.M.G., HM Ambassador, Riyadh. Nigel Elton Shinewell, C.M.G., Permanent Representative, UKREP, Brussels. The Right Reverend Simon Barrington Ward, Prelate, Order of St. Michael and St. George. Companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George Andrew John Fraser, lately Chief Executive Invest UK, Department of Trade and Industry. John David Gould Isherwood, for services to Oxfam. Peter Humphreys Kent, for services to Anglo-Taiwanese trade. Patrick John S. Kutal, Director and Head, International Environmental Law Division, Department of the Environment, Transport and the Regions. Miss Alison Judith Kirtley Bales, HM Ambassador, Helsinki. Anthony Russell Brenton, Director, Foreign and Commonwealth Office. Andrew Thomas Kahn, lately Chef de Cabinet, European Commission. Professor Ivor Norman Richard Davies, for services to Central European history. Miss Caroline Van Weetong Elms, HM Ambassador, Luanda. Professor Michael Leifer, for services to UK Southeast Asian Relations. Helen Meeksner, Regional Director Central Europe, British Council. John MacLeod Scarlett, O.B.E. Consulate, Foreign and Commonwealth Voice. Andrew William Graham Summers, for promotion of the excellence of UK design internationally. Derek James Alexander Taylor, for services to UK Mauritius trade. Philip Lloyd Thomas, lately HM Consul General, Dusseldorf. Jeremy Walter Thorpe, HM Ambassador, Bogota. Royal Victorian Order Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Orders of Brian Henry McGrath, K.C.V.O., lately Treasurer to the Duke of Edinburgh. Knight Commander of the Royal Victorian Order Vice Admiral Sir James Lamb Wetherell, K.B.E., Marshal of the Diplomatic Corps. Commander of the Royal Victorian Order Fiona Violet, Lady Art L. V.O., Lady-in-Waiting Tot-He Princess Margaret, Countess of Snowdon. Captain Robert Neil Blair, L.V.O., Royal Navy, Private Secretary to the Duke of York and Princess Alexandra, the Honourable Lady Ogilvy. John Francis Jarvis, C.B.E., lately Chairman of the Trading Board, the Prince's Trust. Peter Hugh Trevor Mimpris, Member of Council, the Prince's Trust. The Lady Angela Mary Rose Oswald, L.V.O., Lady-in-Waiting to Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother. Lieutenant of the Royal Victorian Order Eric Percival Carr, lately Honorary Treasurer and Trustee of the Prince Philip Trust Fund for the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead. Miss Sandra Iris Henney, lately Press Secretary to the Prince of Wales. Miss Rachel Ann Wells, M.V.O., Assistant Secretary, Central Chancery of the Orders of Knighthood. Member of the Royal Victorian Order Michael William Burke, Financial Controller, Property Services and Royal Travel, Royal Household. Patrick Stanley Michael Coles, Administrator, Western Provident Association. Sergeant Paul Leslie Crisp, Royalty Protection Department, Metropolitan Police. Sergeant Derek Victor Cross, Royalty Protection Department, Metropolitan Police. Alison Shara Orne, Patricia Derritt, Assistant Registrar, Royal Archives, Royal Household. Michael David Fawcett, Personal Consultant to the Prince of Wales. Norma Mrs. Gardner, lately Assistant Secretary to the Lieutenant Governor of Guernsey. Peter John Godwin, Deputy Property Manager, Windsor Castle. Inspector Charles James John Goldsmith, lately Royalty Protection Department, Metropolitan Police. Roger Francis Dolmash Halliday, Land Steward, Western District, Duchy of Cornwall. Elizabeth Jill, Mrs. Kelsey, Assistant Registrar, Royal Archives, Royal Household. Graham John Leywood, lately Building Surveyor, Duchy of Cornwall. The Honourable Mary Yull Mackie, lately Personal Assistant to the Commonwealth Secretary-General. Sister Catherine Teresa O'Donnell, Nursing Sister, Buckingham Palace. Alexander Shan, Mrs. Pettifer, for services to the Prince of Wales. Marie Elizabeth, Mrs. Smith, Private Secretary to the Governor-General of Australia. Miss Dorothy Kathleen Ann Woolridge, Personal Assistant to the Governor-General of Australia. Bar to the Royal Victorian Medal Christopher Frederick Biggs, R.V.M. Foreman. David Hugh Farrow, R.V.M. Tractor Driver, Sandringham Estate. Anthony Vernon Parnell, R.V.M. Foreman, Sandringham House. Ashley John Sadler, R.V.M. Motor Mechanic, Sandringham Estate. Royal Victorian Medal Gerald Sean Alexander, Assistant Storekeeper, Crown Estate, Windsor. Michael Stanley Ashton, Craftsman Fitter, Crown Estate, Windsor. Constable Harold William Chappell, Royalty Protection Department, Metropolitan Police. John William Christian, Yeoman Bedgoat, the Queen's Bodyguard of the Yeoman of the Guard. Peter Donald, Works Department, Balmoral Estate. Corporal of Horse Kenneth Reginald Freeman, the Queen's Orderly. Stephen Richard Frohawk, Tractor Driver, Sandringham Estate. Constable Stanley Highmore, Royalty Protection Department, Metropolitan Police. Ian Lawrence King, lately Pipe Major to Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother. Ian Cooper Masson, Forestry Department, Balmoral Estate. Gerald Andrew Morris, lately Showground Manager, Royal Windsor Horse Show. Graham Paul Richards, Chef to Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother. Ronald John Smith, Works Supervisor, Mechanical and Engineering, Property Services, Buckingham Palace. Roger John Tyack, Divisional Sergeant Major, the Queen's Bodyguard of the Yeoman of the Guard. Dennis Thomas Williams, Messenger Sergeant Major, the Queen's Bodyguard of the Yeoman of the Guard. Order of the Companions of Honour Sir Harrison Birtwistle, Composer. For services to music. David Paul Schofield, C.B.E. Actor. For services to drama. Order of the British Empire. Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire Miss Jill Ellison, Nursing Director, Birmingham Heartlands and Solihull NHS Trust. For services to nursing. Miss Jean Els, Head Teacher, Whalley Range High School, Manchester. for services to education. Miss Sharon Hollows, Head Teacher, Caverton Primary School, Newham, London, for services to education. Miss Thea King, OBE, Clarinetist, for services to music. Ms. Sally Ann Vickers Powell, Member and Deputy Executive Mayor, London Borough of Hammersmith and Fulham, for services to London and to local government. Mary, Mrs. Richardson, lately Principal, Convent of Jesus and Mary Language College, Brent, for services to education. Miss Janet Olive Trotter, OBE, Director, Cheltenham and Gloucester College of Higher Education, for services to higher education. Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire Vice Admiral Fabian Michael Malborn. Commanders of the Order of the British Empire Professor David Melville, for services to education. New Zealand. New Zealand Order of Merit, Principal Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Distinguished Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Additional Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Additional Member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Honorary Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Honorary Member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Queen's Service Order, Companions of the Queen's Service Order for Community Service, Companions of the Queen's Service Order for Public Services, Queen's Service Medal.